Hello lovely people, thought it was about time I did another scrap busting video. So I've dragged out my scraps of tea, coffee stained cardstocks and papers here. So I've got a bit of an assortment. And I also have my inks, some stamps and some dies. So what I'd like to do is just make a whole lot of little embellishments that I can use, that are ready to use in future projects basically, and for collaging and that as well. So it's really an excuse for me to use a toy that I got recently off of Marketplace, which was this beauty. Now I usually don't go buying these sort of things because they always cost a mint, which I could sort of understand. They're so old and well made. This is so heavy. It's a commercial stamp. It's a number stamp, but it has 3 settings on it. It does consecutive, duplicate and repeat, which is awesome. So, and the lovely gentleman who was selling it showed a photo of the numbers and I just fell in love with it. Had my name on and it was screaming at me, so I went and got it a while back. So I thought I might start and stamp some of those, just have a bit of fun with it. So what I might do firstly is grab just a paper strip, I reckon. See if I've got some thinner paper that I might like to use. Got these real thin ones, but I'm a bit worried I won't get it on there. But let's see how we go. These haven't been tea dyed by the looks, but it doesn't matter. But I might just grab a spare piece of paper to put underneath. I think it's similar paper. So let's just see how we go at getting it where we want it. It's such a beauty. I think it's meant to go, I think I hold it that way. Oh yeah, that got it on there. But isn't that just gorgeous? So I'd like to do a whole lot of these that I can just break up and put onto projects, because you don't always want to have to bother grabbing your stamps out and getting things ready. Trying to get it on the paper a bit. Might as well finish off this line. Sort of learning where to where it actually goes. So isn't that cool? So you can see it's doing a duplicate and then going up by 1 and doing a duplicate. So I'll probably just leave it on that. I'm not sure whether you can manually change the numbers. I'm assuming you must be able to, but I'm a bit scared to fiddle with it while it's working. I think I should leave it alone. So I'm going to let these ones dry. Now, the other thing I have is I grabbed out a whole lot of dies in case I think some of the stamps I've got might look nice die cut. And so I've got a number of different stamps that I can make little labels out of. See, something like that might go quite nicely over the top. Or even a banner. Tickets and all sorts. So I might just grab a thicker piece that we can die cut some out of. This piece. And I might stamp a few on this, and then afterwards I can grab my big shot and die cut some out. So I'll put a bit of space in between these. Now the other thing I can do also is use some of my thicker cardstock bits and try some of the bits on that as well. Just debating if I want to do. I've got this circular tag, which I quite like as well, but I'm not sure the numbers would look that good on there. So I might leave that one for now. So I'll use this bit of cardstock and this bit of paper. So I'm not worried if I don't get the imprint on properly. It looks like distressed, which is great. So I think I'll just do 3 on that. Just love it. And then we'll fit a whole lot on this. Put one in the middle in case I want to do a bigger die cut over the top. I think that'll do with that stamp. So I'll cut all those out afterwards. I've got those ones. What I might do is just grab under my desk. I have a couple of boxes of these holders. I get them from Kmart or Spotlight. So I might use one of these to store them in so that they're ready to go. So with these ones, I reckon I might just rip them out. Whoops, that's even still like smudgeable. I'll leave them a bit longer to dry, whether they dry at all. So we'll do some more stamping in the meantime, I think. So the other thing I want to try is, I have these that I got from eBay. I'm wondering if any of these stamps will fit in my little stamp punch, but I've got a funny feeling they won't. But I might be able to use either my scan and cut or just hand cut them. Yeah, I don't think they will. Because that's the littlest one I reckon that I've got. But we might do some, grab another one of my thicker pieces. We might go to it with some stamps. It's got some pattern on that side. Prefer to do it on a non sort of patterned piece. That one's only lightly patterned. And end up with paper everywhere. So I might do some brown and some black. So I'll use my archival inks for this one. That way we might get to so I hope you're going okay. It's pretty cold here in SA, assuming it's quite warm in other states of Australia. The weather is all over the place, but it's probably meant to be like that during the spring. I like the black. So they're going to look cool. Now, as I said, I don't think this will fit at all nicely. I mean, I could do it, but it's going to cut off a lot of the stamp, I reckon, so I won't. So I will hand cut them afterwards. I like those ones. So what else have we got here? I've got a couple more stamps. What I might do is see if I can do 2 in 1. That'll save time and effort. Whether it will work or not, I don't know. So put these 2 on together. Should be using my stamp platform. How often do I say that and not do it? All right, we'll use this piece. Start with the brown again. I'll put them to the side. So it doesn't look like it will take long to amass a whole heap of ephemera here, which is really cool. Now we have postmarks as well, which I really like. That'd be a pain to cut out though. Although this one, I do have my, it's almost the right size for that one, so I might do some of them. So I said sometimes you know, you get annoyed having to get up, get your stamps, get your ink, clean it all up afterwards. So to have some already made that I can just stick onto projects, I think is handy. Now I might as well go the other postmark while I'm at it and do 2 in 1 again. I'll just start with I'll start with brown. So yes, haven't been off the couch much. I spent about half an hour at the most off the couch and it's back on the couch. I'm actually anemic at the moment, so I've been very, very tired, but I'm getting treatment on Friday, so I'm really looking forward to hopefully being back in full swing next week. Still determined to do videos though, I tell you. It'd take a lot to stop me. Sorry about that, I should apologise for not giving you a break from me. It was hard to do any scrap busting videos previously because I really didn't have enough scraps. It takes a while to start amassing a whole pile. I still don't feel like I have enough lace and fabric scraps yet to scrap bust too much with them. But I'm keen to start making some bits and pieces. All right, put them to the side. Now, I'm going to end up with stamps everywhere here, so I might just put some away. So where does that one go? Yeah, must sort out my stamps soon. Should make that a challenge for the group next month. Stamp sorting and organisation. Because I've been meaning to take all my block stamps off the blocks. So I can organise them better and make more room. Alright, just put that to the side, see what else we have here. Now, I do have these dictionary, oh they're furry, I don't know why these are called cat, Furry Friends Cat. But it has companion, friend, pet, unconditional, love and cherish. So really, the pet one's the only one that pertains specifically to animals. Although I haven't read what the meanings say. Because I think some of them would be handy to have. So I might stamp some of these. Now I think this is just the big. Might cut this down one day and just have the separate ones. I don't always want them all. So I think for that I will use one of my bits of vintage scrappy paper. And block's big enough for that one. Do you have a bigger plastic stamp blocky thing here? That sometimes works for me. So we can give it a go. Although this isn't really doing my scraps, is it? Because I've got big paper. But anyway, while I've got my stamps out and I've got this out, I always get sidetracked doing something that's different from what I should be doing. I'm looking into getting a microphone sometime to see if the sound will be better as well, because I know when I'm on filming with my iPad that it gets very quiet, especially when I'm mumbling. So I hope to rectify that one day. I've been looking at microphones, just wait for payday and try one out, I suppose. All right, now I should get back to my scrap busting, shouldn't I? I know there were some Timmy Holtz stamps that I wanted to try as well. Tim Holtz field notes stamps, which I love. They're new for me, not for everyone else, I'm sure. But these will be great to use up some of my scraps. So I'm going to do a whole heap of stamping with them. Rather than making you watch me though, I might go and sit and watch some TV while I do a whole heap of that. So the other thing was, these numbers that I stamped, I think they were still, maybe they've finally dried. Oh, they've dried. I can't believe it. It's like 3-4 hours later and they were still smudging. I thought I was going to have to spray them with some matte medium. But I love the way they look. They're the ones on the board. So far I've got all of these, so I'm going to cut them out somehow. These ones, I'll try and find, I'll see what dies I've got and see if I want to die cut any of those. Now it must be this strip that I thought I would just rip. So what I might do is stamp a whole lot, die cut the ones I want to die cut, the ones I want to cut, and then come back afterwards and just show you all the ephemera that I've created rather than you having to watch me do everything. So with these ones, I think I'm just going to rip them, just like that. And I can always ink around them, which I will when I use them, rather than doing it now, because I'm quite particular about what colour inks I use depending on the project I'm doing. But I think they look pretty cool, just ripped and like that. And even the ones that I've smudged. It'll just give me heaps of little bits to play around with. So now the other thing I wanted to do while I'm here is see how we go with these circle ones and my circle punch. Oh, that's like huge, isn't it? Although I think it is going to be too big because I think it's a 1-inch punch. I've sort of gone by the inside circle. I mean, it doesn't look bad though, really, does it? I do have a small one. I'm going to have to get a whole lot of different sized punches. I might have a die cut, so I'll have a think. If not, I'll just do them like that because that doesn't look too bad and there's nothing worse than trying to cut circles. That's for sure. So it is now 3 days, I think, since I was on stamping my scrappy papers. I did sit down after we last spoke and stamped a whole lot of my Tim Holtz stamps. And then I had a few days break. I got some treatment and I'm starting to feel so much better. So thank goodness for that. So I can get on with my crafting a bit more now. So I just want to show you what I finished up with, which is this box of goodies. Now I ended up ripping and cutting most of the bits out. I did do a few die cuts, which I'll show you afterwards. Now, this is nothing special, but it's such a good way to use up all your scrappy bits of tea-dyed, coffee-dyed papers that you cut off your page ends and that sort of thing. So these are the numbers from the beautiful stamp that I bought. That one I used some fancy scissors on. But I just love the way they look. And that looks so cool on a collage tag or a big collaged page. Anywhere, really. So I've got heaps of those. And then I did do some of these specimen stamps from the Tim Holtz Field Notes stamp set on some of the coffee or tea-dyed cardstock. So I just cut them into a loose tag shape. Really love the way they look. I reckon a bit of ink around the edges and a nice little bronze eyelet in there. And they'd look really cool. So I mean, this is great for me to do because I'll just keep one of each of these bits and maybe put them in an ideas journal for myself. And it just reminds me of what I've got and what I can make with it as well for future reference. So the postmarks, instead of punching them all with the round punch, I ended up just tearing them out because I've decided that I can use them as is, but if I want to cut around them, then I can do that at the time. Doesn't need to be done now. I might like to use them like this in some bits and might like to punch them at other times, which I still can. Some of these condemns from the Tim Holtz stamp set as well. Shipment collect. So it's just lots of interesting pieces that I can use. Same here, just ended up ripping them out because if I want them nice and neat, I can easily cut them out at the time. So heaps of those. Some of these little ones, these will be great in the botanical journals, I reckon. They'd make just on, you know, you could stick that onto a tag and it's almost done for you, really, if you're doing vintage style. Got stacks of those ones, and then we've got the ones with the little bird on. Same deal, great on tags. You could put them on the front of an envelope that you're decorating. Butterfly ones. So I think they look really cool on the tea-dyed paper. A whole lot more of the postmarks, like these ones. They might fit into my, I've got a dog tag, I think that's what you'd call them, die shape. These might, I'll have to check if these fit in there because then I can cut them out with that and they'll have the little loop up the top that you put your eyelet in or whatever. That'd look pretty cool. So I can experiment with them and see what else I can make out of them. There's more of the condemned and shipment collects. Have we got anything different? Got some numbers here, which are really cool. They look really good. They're Tim Holtz ones, I think, as well. And I did do all of them in the archival link, so that way if I want to do multimedia with them, put any medium over the top of them and that they should not run theoretically. And some of these field labels, again, really cool for a botanical journal or a nature journal of some type. Some more little specimen notes, and then we've got the ones that I started with last time, which are all the stamps. Some of these are ripped and some of them I cut because it makes such a difference which way you do it. So I'm trying to find a dark one. There's a darker one. I mean, if you look there, there's a ripped one and there are the cut ones. So very different look. So yeah, got heaps of the stamps now to be able to use. So if I do any faux envelopes, I can just grab one of these and stick it on. And then there were my numbers that I ripped out. You saw me rip those apart though from my little stamp, which I love. Definitely just like the little numbers that you see on the top of your invoice pages. So, and then the ones that I die cut, I just played around with a few different things. I had some scrap pieces of your manila folders. So I used, I think this was a bit of coffee dyed manila folder scrap that I had. But what I do is when I die cut, I usually put 2 layers anyway. And that way I get a blank one that I can use for something as well. So I had some of the numbers in the tea-dyed paper, which I cut out as well, so I can use them for various things. They look quite neat. Did some with this dog tag that I have has these little other bits that you can use to make the tag. So I did some with the bottom half circle or semicircle of that so that I can stick that onto the dog tag and something up the top if I want. So just trying out different things. And then I had the banner die, so I cut some of the bits. That must just be the manila folder there. I reckon these might look good with a eyelet through the top there, attached to another tag or something. So I might play around with that. I will show you when I do. That's a circle for the dog tag as well, so I'll be able to stick that onto a different coloured cut out of the dog tag. And then I had the dictionary meanings. So with those, I've only done a couple of them because they were in the whole big stamp, if you remember. That's why I really think I'll cut the stamp apart to have them all separate, because then I can die cut around them. Maybe with a fancy die, and that would look really cool too. But for now, I've got this Unconditional and Friend just with this die cut. And of course, I put that over some of my scrap manila folders, so I got extra pieces to play around with. So nothing too challenging, that's for sure. But I've got stacks and stacks of ephemera just in here from just these stamp sets, and it's such a cool way to use up the end bits of your tea dyed or coffee dyed papers or coloured papers, scrapbook papers, whatever you have. So I was really happy with that, and it was a simple task for me to do while I was so tired. It still took me 3 days to get there though, so looking forward to getting on with some of the more nitty-gritty stuff now. So I hope you're all well, take care of yourselves, be good, and I will see you soon. Bye.